there's the possibility of future utility. So actuality, the having US dollars in your bank account or liquid cash or you know, Bitcoin, whatever, it's actually more useful to not spend it than to spend it because of some sort of potentiality or future utility. And also just something it's funny because I'm not like a minimalist because it's somehow more virtuous or whatever. I'm just so insanely picky that nothing is ever good enough for me, and therefore I don't like to buy nothing because nothing ever feels worth it. The only things I bought that feel worth it. 꽃. Yeah, 이뻐요. 이렇게 던져봐. Yeah. Okay. Parkour. Yeah. The only things that I've purchased that I ever felt worth it, these Vibram 5-finger shoes. Actually, these Lululemon license to train shorts, great for traveling and stuff like that. These Lindbergh glasses that I got, I think I got it in Calcutta, like in India, like almost like a decade ago. Have lasted me until then. iPad Pro, the new iPad Pro is out too, which is cool. My Ricoh GR3X, right? That's pretty much it, right? And so for me, all I need is pretty much, I feel like all I need is an iPad, a Wi-Fi connection, my Ricoh GR3X camera, and also this GoPro that I'm recording this on. This is the 10, I think the 11's out. But besides that, like, nothing's really worth it. So essentially, my ideal is to own as little few things as humanly possible, but then to just hoard a bunch of liquid cash and, you know, don't buy a house and, you know, none of that silly nonsense or a car. Like even cars, I love cars and car design, but for me, a car is kind of more of a concept and a design exercise than the actually wanting to own it. So even a pro tip, something I've been doing is, you know, I love the Lamborghini designs. I don't feel like I actually need to own one, nor would I probably, like, I would not wish a Lamborghini on even my worst enemy because, A, imagine how expensive it is to change the oil on that thing. And no matter how rich you are, even if you're a trillionaire, nobody likes to spend money on a $1,000 oil change. 또또 사용해요. Yeah. 또또 is Hanu's way of saying cat or objects. 또또 눈거이. 한이 행복해? Yeah. Okay. So essentially so also maintenance. I was actually thinking about too, so even when we were in Cambodia and Phnom Penh, and there's like this fancy gym called The Place, imagine like an Equinox for Cambodia. At the front is a sign that says no bodyguards and no guns and firearms. So can you imagine if you're driving around in the Rolls Royce or the driving around in the Rolls Royce or the Lamborghini, how paranoid and anxious you are that like some rando dudes will just, like, you know, block your car, shoot you up, and then want to jack your car, right? So in actuality, if you were truly a really trillionaire, rich person, whatever, you actually don't want to attract attention to yourself because apparently a lot of rich people are paranoid for getting kidnapped. So, you know, you're driving around in the Lamborghini Urus, probably not a good idea because all these random people will try to follow you and they jack you, right? But anyways, so then maybe ideally the best car to own is kind of the most luxury low-key car. So even like a Lexus, because at this point, I mean, let us not forget that the Lexus is just an expensive Toyota Camry. But you know, people seem to really like them, or like new Hyundai Genesis. Even nowadays an Audi doesn't seem that luxury no more. So what you want to do is you want to stay as low-key as humanly possible, but, you know, assuming that while you're driving you don't want to get car sick, then you spend more money on a car. But anyways, so for me, minimalism is kind of more of a pragmatic aesthetic. It's kind of like, I think minimalism is all about just being implacable, meaning nothing could please you. So I would just recommend, you know, spend lavishly on things you really care for, and if it's not insanely good enough for you, just don't buy it.